evening, everyone. How are we doing today? Thank you so much for being with us today, friends. Good evening, and my name is Isabella L. Richards, and I would happily welcome you to this year's 2025 Grand Garden Gala at the beautiful Washingont Athletic Club. As you heard, I'm Isabella L. Richards. I am first generation. I am Afro-Latino. I am the first in my family to secure, well, I guess to be studying for a doctoral program. I am your reigning Miss Community 2025 for one more month. And I am thrilled to spend this evening with 250 of the most generous, good-looking, and honestly, accepting room that I have been in a very long time. And in case it was unclear, yes, I'm talking about all of you. So thank you so much for being here with us today. By day, fun fact, I'm an educator. Thank you. I also am a development director, so I do raise money. You know, I understand how the money comes and goes. And I was so honored to be asked to come and be a part of this year's event. And so I just want you to know that tonight our theme, the Garden Gala, is not just about the beautiful decor. Every conversation, every paddle raise, every laugh that we share helps something take root for our students and our community. Thank you for being here to plant and to grow alongside the Seattle Southside Chamber of Commerce and the Success Foundation. At this time, we'd like to welcome our board chair, Robert Livingston. Robert has been a dedicated leader within our chamber and an advocate for the programs that strengthen our community. Robert enjoys engaging with local nonprofits that seek to connect our kids with education and well-paying jobs in the South Sound. That passion for people and purpose is at the heart of everything that we do. Please join me in welcoming Robert Livingston to the stage.
Community partners, friends, we gather to celebrate the unlimited potential of our South Sound youth, our community that cares for them, and our region's employers that want to open up meaningful careers. What is Success Foundation? We are a nonprofit tied to South Sound Chamber of Commerce representing Tukwila, Burien, SeaTac, Des Moines, and Normandy Park. South Sound is home to some of the world's greatest employers such as Boeing, Kaiser, Alaska Airlines, Port of Seattle. It's diverse. New families moving to Puget Sound often look to South Sound for affordability. 80 languages are represented in SeaTac and Tukwila schools. On one hand, our region's employers are recruiting across the country for talent, and on the other hand, our families right here are looking for opportunities to create the American dream. What's the disconnect? If we could go around this room, each one of you could probably identify a person in your life, teacher, coach, family friend, uncle, someone who believed in you, saw your giftedness, and may have helped you find your first job. When considering resource-scarce households, scarcity of social capital is often overlooked. New arrival families busy to survive with multiple jobs, stressed to make ends meet, likely do not have access to the types of community connections we might have taken for granted. Success Foundation helps. The centerpiece of our work is Workforce Discovery Lab, a week-long summer deep dive into careers. Students participate in workshops in interviewing, resume writing, and workplace soft skills. We transport them by school bus to meet area employers. We went to St. Anne's Hospital in Burien. Students put on hospital scrubs to go into an operating theater. Leadership explained how on-the-job work in X-ray and radiology can be counted towards a 4-year nursing degree. 2 years ago, students went to Fred Hutch to hear from leaders about careers in advanced research and medicine. It's not just great careers. Students hear from leaders that look and sound like them. Students went to the Museum of Flight, and Emma, you're here from the Museum of Flight. Raise your hand there. Students went to the Museum of Flight, who introduced them to minority aviation and space professionals. At graduation, we invited each student to share a moment in the week that impacted them most. It was amazing to hear students say, I want to pursue a career in aviation because until this week, I never knew there were women and men of color pilots and astronauts. We love the Museum of Flight. They have their own programming to help underserved youth specifically into these careers. I went to one of their events and heard a young woman of color describe how she had been accepted into a NASA academy. She spoke of seeing that almost every other participant in the room was white and male. The question that went through her mind was, I know I was invited, I know I earned a place, but do I belong here? That question of belonging goes to the heart of how every one of us experiences life. You can be on your way to the greatest seminar in the world, but in the back of your mind, you're really thinking, who am I going to sit with at lunch? Do I belong? Success Foundation wants every student to know the answer to that question is a resounding yes. Yes, we want to wake them up to their skills and gifts. Yes, we want them to see how they might apply them to careers they never imagined. But most importantly, we want them to understand the table of prosperity is a table to which they are invited and that they belong. Friends, on behalf of Success Foundation, we express our deepest gratitude for you being here tonight, for taking the time to hear how this type of programming opens doors. It changes lives. By being here, you become the network of aunts and uncles and mentors and friends that form a resource-rich community. Thank you for believing that as extended family, we can create a sense of belonging that leads to prosperity for every child that seeks it. I hope this gala is a wonderful and joyful celebration of hope and inspiration for all of us. Thank you.
We are going to introduce our first student speaker of the evening, Kristine Tieu. Kristine is an alumni of our 2025 Workforce Discovery Lab, where she explored new career paths, built connections with industry professionals, and discovered her own strengths along the way. Her journey is a wonderful example of what the Success Foundation strives to make possible for every student who walks through our doors. Please join me in welcoming Kristine to the stage.
Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? All right, so I'll be talking about how I figured out about the Workforce Discovery Lab. So pretty much I found out about the group through a group of speakers that came to my school during lunch. I decided to talk to them to see what their program was about and see if I was interested in what they had to offer. After hearing that they offered career exploration through hands-on work really intrigued me.
Sorry, I'm getting told things.
All right. Okay, so after hearing what the Workforce Discovery Lab did, where they offered career exploration, it really intrigued me. And before the Workforce Discovery Lab, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Like, I sort of had an idea that I wanted to go into STEM, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do with that. And I was extremely stressed out about what I wanted to do after high school, and I felt like I was running out of time since I was just about to begin my senior year in high school. And I just felt like growing up, I was under the impression that I had to stick with whatever major that I had to do and stay with it forever. So during my first week at the Workforce Discovery Lab, we went to many different businesses and learned about their jobs and career paths. And the one that stood out to me the most were the 4 speakers at the Museum of Light. And all of them were women, which is a pretty big deal to me, especially in the field of STEM. It was inspiring to see somebody who looks like me in a male-dominated field. And throughout the program, I was able to learn that change was something that was okay. And growing up, again, I was under the impression that whatever you figured out in high school, you have to major in it and stick for it for the rest of your life. And that definitely was not the case, as I had met many professionals in their field and had conversed with them and learned that many of them didn't actually stick with their original idea in high school, but instead they changed their career paths and they're extremely successful in it. This discovery changed the way that I saw my future by realizing that change is okay and something that's normal. I have been under immense stress because I hadn't realized that what I want to do in my life. But knowing this reassured me that I didn't have to commit to something right now and stick with it for the rest of my life. So, thanks to the Discovery Workforce Lab, I was able to explore different careers such as the medical field, aviation, and maybe even education. And opportunities like this can impact a student in numerous ways, whether it's discovering a new career path or industry, learning how to make connections, interacting with professionals in their field and asking questions, and just overall teaching high school students how to prepare for the future. Schools don't really teach us how to write a resume, how to ace an interview, or just how to get a job in general. And you're just expected to know what to do. So having these programs for high schoolers to be exposed to different career paths and get to learn about them in depth. It's not like searching up like how to be a doctor when you can actually go to a hospital and experience it firsthand and understand the environment, the people, and what goes on behind the scenes. Without the Workforce Discovery Lab, I wouldn't have been prepared for the future and I would be stressing about what I want to do after high school. Thank you.
We are thrilled to introduce our next student speaker, Theo Bui. Theo is an amazing student who's participated in this year's Workforce Discovery Lab. Through the program, Theo explored new career paths and gained hands-on experience and discovered the confidence that comes from stepping into something new. So please join me in welcoming Theo to the stage.
You know, out of all the welcomes I've had, that was my most recent one. So thank you for that. Yep. Thank you. How are you guys doing tonight? You know, I wish I could have the food, but I was a little nervous. So I wish you guys have a good time. So my name is Theo, and I recently had the incredible opportunity to attend the Summer Workforce Discovery Lab. Alongside around 30 other students, I had the chance to explore the city, touring different workplaces, meeting professionals, and discovering a wide variety of careers and environments. To see professionals who didn't just look like me, not just skin color, but from a similar background. Backgrounds not just defined by ethnicity, but professionals who were lacking opportunities. I recall a female pilot who came to our program. Yep. She didn't have a father growing up, and I resonated with her on that. She was lacking a crucial support system and was born into inequality. Despite all these odds, she fought through, succeeded, and made it her goal to inspire others. She succeeded, she inspired me. But how did that experience change the way I saw what was possible for my own future? It meant more than just inspiration. It was a visual representation of what I could achieve. Talking to her gave me a powerful realization. Her success wasn't luck. It was built on hard work, sacrifice, and an unwavering sense of purpose. She didn't wait for opportunities to appear. She created them. She created her own future, transforming under pressure like a diamond, being formed through time and determination. When we talked about how she shaped her own path, she told me something that stayed with me ever since. You guys ready? You have to be willing to sacrifice what you like to pursue what you love. Yeah. For me, I was trying to make the NBA. Money, fame, what more could you want, right? But everyone in the NBA is like 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 6'7". Oh my God. I know you guys have heard that a lot if you have kids and all that. Oh my God. Thank you. Yeah, it didn't quite pan out, Yeah, and after much persuasion, she persuaded me to join the exact same program she took through the museum. You guys know it as Aeronautical Science Pathway. Yeah. If it weren't for this program, I never would have met her. And honestly, I wouldn't be standing here today as an official student pilot. You see, we students aren't yet fully developed. We're still learning, still growing, just like pieces of dough. Shout out to Isabella. Where are you guys at? Yeah, we're like pieces of dough waiting to be shaped into something amazing. We need mentors, guidance, and support systems to help us become something great. And that is the topping of the pizza. Yep. I don't like pineapple on pizza, by the way, so. Controversial take. That's exactly what the Workforce Discovery Lab did for me. It didn't just introduce me into a world of work, it threw me right into the oven with all those toppings. Yeah. It took me from being a clueless piece of dough to pizza that shines with potential. And it's savory. So. Yep. Through this program, I got to experience all kinds of jobs. Some I never knew existed. We overlook a lot of jobs, right? You check into a hotel, there's so many things going on you don't see. So many careers I never thought I'd be interested in. But I took it all in. I listened, I learned, and I grew. And when I walked away with something bigger than experience. I walked away with a dream of becoming a pizza business owner. This is real, by the way. This is real. Me and my mom are starting. It's a real thing. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, programs like these aren't just about showing students career options. We see career paths every day, through social media, family members. But that's just the surface. What we need, what every student needs and deserves, is a chance to dig deeper. To understand what those careers really mean and to see where we might fit in. And that's what the Workforce Discovery Lab gave me and 30 other of my peers. Real exposure and a spark that lit a fire for me. And here's the truth. Opportunities like these don't just happen. They exist because people like you, choose to invest in students like me. When you support programs like the Workforce Discovery Lab, you're not just donating money, you're opening doors. You're funding possibilities. You're helping people who are young discover who they are and who they can become. And so today, I want to say thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for believing in us. And because when you give, you're not just shaping futures, you're helping us rise. Thank you.
When we talk about planting seeds for the future, we're talking about students like Alex Nuñez Aguilar, one of our remarkable Workforce Discovery Lab 2025 alumni. Alex joined the program with curiosity, energy, and an open heart. And what he discovered was a clear path to his future and a community that believes in him every step of the way. Additionally, this evening, he's joined by someone who's been cheering him on from the very beginning, his mom, Arlene Aguilar. And together, they remind us that behind every student's success is a network of love, guidance, and opportunities. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to both Alex and Arlene.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for attending today's gala. My name is Alex Nuñez, and I'm currently a senior at Highline High School. Thank you, guys. Now, before I go any further, I'd like to take a moment to thank my mother, who is here with us today. Thank you, Mom. And I'd also like to thank the Chamber, who not only gave me my first opportunity to be a part of the Workforce Discovery Lab, but has also given me this incredible opportunity to speak in front of all of you guys today. Today, I'll be sharing a few things. What I personally took away from the program, how it impacted my family and could benefit other families in the future, and how the lab changed the way that I view the world going forward. So starting with my experience, I first heard about the Workforce Discovery Lab through a small flyer being handed out at school. I thought it would be great to apply since the program seemed full of opportunity, and I'm very glad that I did. After being accepted, our first day began with an introduction to the week ahead. We learned that we'd be going on several field trips to explore different workplaces. Our very first visit was to a local hospital, and even after just a few hours, I realized how many different jobs exist that we rarely see or think about. I learned about roles I had never heard of before, which really opened my eyes. Before this experience, I think I often overlooked or undersaw a lot of jobs that exist, and I saw things at a surface level. For example, at the hospital, I saw that beyond surgeons and doctors, there are people responsible for prepping medical spaces, monitoring equipment, analyzing data, and ensuring that everything runs smoothly. Their work is just as crucial as the doctor's work, even if it happens behind the scenes. When we continued our visits throughout the week, I tried to keep that same mindset, looking beyond the surface and noticing the teamwork that makes everything possible. I learned about how huge and complex the coffee industry is. People travel across the world to find perfect beans for their shops. I also learned about the people who run the AMC theaters at South Center Mall and teams responsible for keeping it safe and operating every day. All of this taught me to truly appreciate everyone's contribution, even if it's not visible. It also helped me see how diverse, complex, and connected all of our lives are. This was one of the biggest takeaways from my week with the program. Now, from a family perspective, the Workforce Discovery Lab offers so many positives. For just 1 week, students get to explore different companies, industries, and careers, often discovering interests they never knew they had. This kind of exposure doesn't just benefit the student, it also benefits their family and community. Students come home with new knowledge, stories, and insights that they can share with others. It can even spark conversations that inspire parents, siblings, or friends to explore new paths themselves. Personally, the program helped me grow in confidence and understanding, not only about the workforce, but about myself and others. Overall, my knowledge about the world of work, about people, and about myself has grown tremendously, and I'm so grateful for that. Once again, I want to thank everyone here tonight, and especially the Chamber and everyone involved in the Workforce Discovery Lab for making this possible. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. My speech is not going to be as long as these kiddos because, first of all, I'm a very shy person, but my son pushed me tonight. He was like, "You got this, Mom. You can do it." Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank the Success Foundation for the great opportunity that gives it to all these young people to explore and discover all the different careers that they might be interested in. I would like to mention that my son Alex will come home sharing that he was going to participate in the program and I was really happy, even though I didn't know much about this. But he was very excited and ready to discover new topics and careers. As a parent, um, I know he will come every day sharing all the experiences, and I really enjoy sharing him sharing all the stories of all the different places they visit and hearing about what they learn in many different fields. Assure me, assure me that this program is a great opportunity for all these young adults. My greatest takeaway will be how the program changed his perspective on things in life. After the program, I noticed that he will appreciate the work of a lot of people and all the work that a lot of people do behind the scenes. He will talk about how some people have little or no idea how hard other works to make the world going around. To end, I will say that the Workforce Discovery Lab transforms the young adult's perspective on life and gives them great opportunity to discover what they might want to pursue in the next chapter of their lives. All of this leads to help their families and communities. Thank you so much.
And next, we're honored to hear from someone who has been an incredible champion for both our students and our mission. Navdeep Singh serves as the board chair for the Seattle Southside Chamber and as the general manager at Westfield South Center Mall, one of our region's largest and most vibrant business hubs. And beyond his leadership in retail and community engagement, Navdeep has also been a devoted partner of the Success Foundation's Workforce Discovery Lab, where he's hosted immersive workshops that give students firsthand experience in career development and leadership. His commitment to mentoring youth and building bridges between education and opportunity truly embodies the spirit of this evening. Please join me in welcoming Navdeep Singh to the stage.
So for the past 3 years, we've had the privilege of hosting Workforce Discovery Labs at Westfield South Center, and I cannot overstate how inspiring it has been to watch the students from our region engage with real-world careers and experiences. These young individuals have partnered with our retailers and center teams to explore a wide range of career and professional pathways, from customer service, marketing, and operations roles within the center. They're not just learning skills, they're discovering possibilities. And for me, this is deeply personal because I grew up in the Seattle Southside area as an immigrant. My own journey began at South Center when I was 19 years old, right out of high school. And my first job there was a security officer for the holidays, and I used to ride the bicycle around in the rain. I've had the fortune of, in my life, to meet some really good mentors that kind of guided my path, and that's the reason I'm in the role that I am now. And now to be in a position where I can help guide and support the next generation of local talent, it's a full circle moment, which I'm honored to be a part of. Programs like Workforce Discovery Labs don't happen in isolation. They're a result of strong partnership, shared vision, and a community that believes in investing in its future. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to Sammy and the chamber staff and our board members and organizations that, through their continued dedication, make these programs possible. Together, we're not just shaping careers, we're building confidence, sparking ambition, and strengthening the fabric of our region. Thank you for being part of this journey with us tonight and supporting future of the Seattle Southside Success Foundation as we continue to serve the youth in our communities.
We're honored to welcome someone who has been a part of the Success Foundation journey from the very beginning, a dedicated leader, advocate, and community builder. Joe Van serves on the Success Foundation Board of Directors and is a longtime supporter of our mission to empower students through education and workforce development. His commitment to creating Opportunities for young people in strengthening our South King County communities continues to inspire all of us. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Joe Van.
My name is Joe Van. I am a proud board director for the Success Foundation, but I'm also the proud president of the Highline School Board. To my left right here is Dr. Benitez. He's our executive director of our teaching and learning, who also oversees our career and technical education for our district. And Dr. Durant cannot be with us tonight because he's a little ill. So in Highline, we have a promise to know every student by name, strength, and need, and to graduate prepared for the future that they choose. On behalf of the Highline School Board, as well as the Tukwila School Board, I want to say thank you. Regardless of what district they're in, there's no boundaries. There's no boundaries for our students. So thank you so much for supporting our promise. Thank you for helping our students seeing what is possible and opening doors for them and being part of their journey. So we can't do this work alone. And tonight, we just want to recognize you for being the extension of Highline and Tukwila. With that, we have a Living the Promise pin for each one of you. It is a small token, but it represents something big. It is the heart of what we do and why we do this work. And with that, I would like to invite Dr. Benitez to come on up here to share a few words, all right? Dr. Benitez?
Thank you so much, Director Van. I want to start off by just saying thank you so much for all your support for our young people in South King County. Want to highlight a partnership that we've been able to cultivate. Thank you so much to Deepak and Virginia Mason. We've talked a little bit about the partnership with Tai High School, which has allowed our students to see a variety of professions that they wouldn't have known otherwise in healthcare. You've heard from so many of our students already, you can't be what you can't see. And so through our partnership, we're providing students with more opportunities to see possible futures for themselves. So our students are going to St. Anne and St. Francis, right? They are preparing for internships and guest speakers. I had a 9th grade counselor tell me the other day, she had a student tell her, Miss Jen, I cannot meet with you today. The guest speakers come into class, all right? I've got priorities, all right? It's so important to our young people because they want to know what is out there. They can't be what they can't see. We can't prepare them for the future they choose if they don't know what's out there. So we're so grateful for all of the opportunities and the partnerships, and we're looking forward to continuing to cultivate these partnerships for Highline and for all of South King County. Thank you all so much.
You've heard from all of us today. And you've heard about the power of the Success Foundation and the value of the Discovery Workforce Lab. And now you get to see about it more in a visual setting. So please turn your attention to our screen as we share with you our impact video.
What do you want to be when you grow up? It's a question we often assume is simple, but it rarely is. Many adults are still trying to figure it out. With endless paths and opportunities ahead, how do young people make a choice?
My inspiration for the week was listening to everyone's lives and stories. It was great to take a step back and really listen to the journeys everyone went through. I feel like it gave me a sense of wonder and appreciation for the people we may not see, but are definitely doing a lot of work behind the scenes.
What inspired me the most was seeing how passionate and knowledgeable the guest speakers were about their fields. It showed me that when you truly enjoy what you do, it reflects in your work and the way you inspire others. And last but not least, I want to thank my peers that felt like family throughout the week and staff. Thank you very much.
And a lesson that I've learned this week is that change is okay. Many of these people in the industries have changed their mind and never thought that they would go into these careers. So it reassures me that, yes, it's okay for me to change my mind about my career and that everything will be okay.
Initially, when I came to this program, I really only wanted to become an airline pilot. But getting out of this program, I realized I could do a lot more than just make money. I can impact people around me.
And know this, you will never be walking that path alone. From the chamber, to your workshop hosts, to your peers who you've grown closer to throughout the week, and of course, to every single person in this audience, we are in your corner. Even in the moments when you feel alone, you have a whole team cheering for your success and ready to support you along the way.
One day I entered my apartment building and my property manager at the time was like, "Oh my gosh, there's someone that you really need to meet." And she's laughing over in the back corner because she's here. Give it up for Brandy, property manager. Love her. She says, "There's someone that you really need to meet. I heard that you were job searching, and I think that she's so great." And here I am just coming back from work. I had like a 10-piece chicken nugget, Happy Meal. And as we're having this conversation in the lobby, I see this woman walk through the door. Now, if you've had an opportunity to meet the CEO and president of the Southside Chamber of Commerce, you know that she is stunning. And so she walks through the door, just hair blowing in the wind, and she's living her best life, just mugged down after a hard day saving lives. And and Brandy's like, "Oh, this is who I was talking about." And literally, it was like instant connection. Like, I mean, I have a partner, but like when you meet like your friend, like soulmate, and you're like, "Wow, how did I know that chicken nuggets were gonna just completely being at the right place at the right time?" You know what I'm saying? And I share that with you because it's such a silly introduction, but wow. To think that that was 2 years ago and that I would be standing here in a room of almost 300 people in full drag, hosting and emceeing an event to raise money for some absolutely phenomenal kids here in South King County. Just speaks to the heart and care and literal compassion that this individual brings to everything that she does, because it's not about her. There's so many things that folks have said today who have said how amazing this individual is, and yet she does it not because she wants, not because she feels like she needs to, but because it's genuinely at the core who she is, because she cares that much. And so I'm so thrilled and so privileged and so lucky to not only call this person a friend, a neighbor, a colleague, a car ride buddy, all the things, but truly someone who is an inspiration, because she has dedicated her life's work to building bridges between businesses and schools and opportunity and access, as well as vision and impact. Her leadership continues to guide this organization forward, creating programs that inspire students and emerging leaders to dream bigger and equipping our region to grow stronger together. Please join me in giving a warm round of applause for this year's Puget Sound Business Journal's Top 40 Under 40 in Washington State, my dear friend, Samantha Le.
Oh my goodness. Wow, thank you so much, Isabella, for those amazing words. Every time I eat chicken nuggets now, I think of you. And so, my God, these lights are bright. Okay, so good evening, everyone. Thank you again so much for joining us tonight. And if we have not yet met, hi, hello, my name is Samantha Le. I have the honor and absolute privilege of working at the Seattle Southside Chamber of Commerce and Success Foundation, bridging gaps in our communities, working alongside amazing leaders. And I am just so honored and thrilled every single day. Before we continue, I want to pause and center us around 4 simple words that hold the power to transform everything that we do: peace, love, unity, and respect. Those 4 values, or as I like to say, plur, are really at the heart of everything that we do in tonight's celebration. It's the roots that this community thrives on. You may have noticed that each of you received a small sprout, similar to this one tonight. And I'd like to invite you to gift that sprout to someone else before the evening is over. That simple act of giving represents growth through connection. A sprout says, I see you. It says, you're sown into the right garden, one with balanced soil, the right light, and the nourishment of a community that walks beside you. It symbolizes the mentorship and care that help all of us grow and reach new heights on our journey. It says to keep growing. And that's exactly what this foundation is about, growth through community. Just 4 short years ago, we planted a tiny seed called the Workforce Discovery Lab. It began with just 6 students, 6 young, beautiful minds that took a chance and said yes to exploring new possibilities and became the very first to walk this path with us. From that start, look at how we've grown. This year, we proudly served 30 students in our cohort, and the interest keeps blooming. We had 261 students apply. That's right. 261 bright, curious minds, eager to learn, connect, and define success on their own terms, no matter where they come from, their economic background, or how they identify. And we're not stopping there. I'm happy to officially announce that this year we were also honored to receive an economic impact grant from the Port of Seattle to help us expand our reach and serve even more students across South King County with a $300,000 grant. And with continued grassroots funding, nights like tonight, we can reach our next big goal of 100% of students served. And it's because of your support that next year we'll be able to support 60 students, and that's 10 times the number from our very first year. And by 2027, we'll reach 90 students. The growth has been incredible, and it has been fueled by grassroots efforts, community generosity, and heart, and people like you who believe in opportunity for all. And here's what your generosity makes possible. It costs $1,500 to support each student through the Workforce Discovery Lab. That includes wraparound services like professional development, mentorship, meals, transportation, language access, plus hands-on learning experiences where students get to visit work sites around our region and explore real, high demand, high earning, and low barrier careers. And because opportunity should never come at the cost of hardship, we also pay each student $500 for their time. Their participation isn't just appreciated, it's valued and honored. And that's what true equity looks like. And none of this happens in silos. Everything that we do starts with connections by breaking down barriers to access and having conversations where they belong, right here in our community. It takes partnership, both public and private, educators and employers, cities and neighbors, all coming together to listen, to respond to real needs and build real solutions. Because when we work together, every door opens a little wider. No student is left behind, and every young person gets the chance to step into this beautiful garden of success empowerment, and inspiration. I come to this work because I know what it means to grow from humble beginnings. As a proud Vietnamese refugee and a daughter of entrepreneurial parents, I learned that when community believes in you, you can bloom anywhere. And that's what we're creating for our students, a garden where every seed has a chance to grow, thrive, and lead. Now, I'll be honest, growing anything takes work, and these are challenging times. This economy's been a bit of a roller coaster lately, one where we're climbing and the next we're hanging on tight. But through it all, the community keeps showing up with generosity and resilience and so much heart. And hey, if we've learned anything, it's that good community, like a good ride, is better when you hold on tight together. And maybe raise your paddles while you're at it. Before we move to our next moment, I want to take a pause to recognize the heart of why we're here tonight, our students. If you've participated in the Workforce Discovery Lab, whether you are with this year's cohort or a graduate or a student ambassador, will you please stand? Your courage and curiosity and commitment inspire everything that we do. Keep growing. Nights like tonight will be one of many as long as you keep showing up. You are the roots and the branches of this garden, and you truly make us thrive together. I also want to give a special shout out to our 2025 partners whose collaboration and belief in this mission help us grow each year. Please stand as I call you so we can recognize you for your support. In alphabetical order: A Legacy X, BECU, the cities of Burien, Des Moines, Normandy Park, SeaTac, and Tequila, Crane Photography, Colonex, I lost my spot, Doubletree by Hilton, Explore Seattle Southside, Giza Credit Union, Highline College, Highline Public Schools, Mechanics Bank, Museum of Flight, Port Jobs, Second Love Coffee Roasters, South King Media, Tequila School District, Tuda Bella Pizzeria, the U.S. Army, Virginia Mason Franciscan Health, St. Anne's Hospital, Washington State Opportunity Scholars, and Westfield South Center. Thank you so much for walking alongside us and believing in this work. And remember, the work doesn't stop tonight. Let's keep the conversation going beyond these walls, because real change doesn't grow in one evening. It grows because of evenings like this. You've heard from students and families whose lives have been changed through the Workforce Discovery Lab, and you'll continue to hear more stories of transformation and impact through this evening. Each voice represents a seed that was planted with hope and nurtured through connection, guidance, and opportunity. And with peace, love, unity, and respect, let's keep planting seeds of tomorrow. And don't forget to give the gift of your sprouts. Now, let's keep the energy going and welcome back the amazing Isabella L. Richards and auctioneer Dick Fain to put the fun in fundraising. Thank you.
Let us open our hearts and hear directly from one of our incredible young leaders who reminds us why we do this work. Jaiden Ford, or as we like to call her, JJ, is a 2024 Workforce Discovery Lab alumna and now serves as our 2025 student liaison. She's walked the journey, she's paid it forward, and she continues to be a shining example of what growth, courage, and community support can achieve. Please join me in welcoming JJ up to the stage to share her story.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jaiden Ford, but you guys can call me JJ, and I had the opportunity to be one of the 2 student liaisons for the 2025 Workforce Discovery Lab. I first joined the program last year as an intern, where I got the opportunity to learn many different aspects about being in a professional environment. Through my experience, I learned about different careers and participated in master classes, which gave me the chance to learn what I liked and disliked, like taking charge, as I am now. But this ultimately pushed me to become a liaison this year. Going back this year in a leadership role was a completely different experience. I wasn't there to learn, but to be extra support helping the foundation. With that, I assisted and provided guidance for the students looking for new opportunities. Whether it was helping them prepare for each trip, practicing questions, or exploring new careers, I wanted to be the same support that I once received. Those moments reminded me that you never truly know how much you've learned until you're able to teach it to someone else. At first, it felt strange being in charge of people my age and even older, but that's when I realized that my age didn't matter. I was there to help them through my knowledge, just like others have helped me, sharing what I learned so that others can grow. There were so many moments that stuck with me throughout the program, like seeing the interns take on new challenges or them finally putting their questions into practice after working on them all week. It reminded me of myself last year and how much I grew because of this program. Seeing their excitement and progress made me proud, but also grateful that I got to be there to witness their growth. This program opened my eyes to what's possible. It taught me the value of leadership, teamwork, confidence, and most importantly, it showed me that I can make a real impact. I'm thankful for everything I've learned, and I hope this program continues. I now am pushing to pursue a career in business, and I aspire to be a CEO just like Sammy. I now also intern for my school, coordinating and marketing different programs just like the Workforce Discovery Lab so that my peers can experience something just like this. Thank you for allowing me to speak and being able to be a part of this. Thank you.
Friends, you just heard what happens when opportunity meets support and when a seed is nurtured with care and mentorship. And now it's our turn to continue that growth. And so please join me in welcoming back Dick Fain.
We have got some unbelievable youth in our area, don't we? Unbelievable youth in our area. Every dollar tonight directly supports students like you've heard tonight, helping us provide wraparound services, paid experiential learning, real-world career exploration opportunities. Remember, it takes $1,500 to fully fund one student for a year in the Workforce Discovery Lab, and $500 ensured that they are paid for their time, because equity means valuing every student's contribution. Your gift tonight ensures no student is left behind. Together we can open doors, build futures, and help every young person in South King County grow into their fullest potential. So please join us in giving generously, and let's raise those paddles for our students and our future and this beautiful garden of success that Sammy talked about earlier that we are growing together.
This has just been such a wonderful evening, and I want to take a moment to just thank everyone for coming and supporting, but most importantly, I want to thank my team. They make me look so good. I could not do this alone, and as I mentioned before, nothing happens in silos. And so I want to recognize Adam, Zach, Lilia, Mario, I also want to take a moment to acknowledge all of our ambassadors and volunteers who really helped bring this on. We are a tiny and mighty team, but we can always use more help. And again, to our board, thank you so much for co-creating with us, for being here tonight. I know it's late, but you all keep us going. And thank you for driving us forward. So, with that, I want to also thank every single person who came tonight to show up, who came tonight and donated, and who came tonight to just be here and be here for the vibes. Thank you so much to all of you. We wouldn't have an amazing show without almost 300 people coming out tonight.